What's up, YouTube? What's going on? Today we're gonna be talking about quite a few things and just addressing some questions that I got from some of my subscribers. And actually, let me start with this. First and foremost, to all my subscribers, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. I really do. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button too. That actually helps the video content get out there to the people that actually need the information. I'm trying to be informational as possible and just put you guys up on some little modifications that I might do. As you know, I'm a big fan of the Canik, or the Janik, how do you want to pronounce it. And my favorite guns to carry is the Elite SC. It's actually my everyday. So, I just try to give out as much information as possible and try to tip you guys on some things that I did. So first thing that I want to talk about is one of the questions that was asked to me was, what was the best carry conceal holsters that's out there for Canik? And unfortunately, well, the Elite SCs. And unfortunately, there are some companies out there, but there's not a lot. It's not like you're going to be able to go to your local gun store and say, do you have a holster for the Canik? And that also relies on where you at too as well. I don't know where you may be in the world, but here in the United States and where I'm stationed at in Ohio, not stationed, but where I'll stay at, the places that I've traveled to, I was never really able to find anything for Canik. And if I did, it wasn't many. It was probably for different models that I've never even heard of or seen. So other than that, I just try to find what I can, and I'm gonna try to put that information out there for you guys, especially because I'm one who tried to keep it within the budget. I don't speak for the rich people, or if that's what you want to call them, whatever the case may be. I speak for the people who likes to spend budgetly wise. And I also feel like certain things should just be priced at a certain price. So we're gonna speak about a lot of reasons why you go understand why that in this video. So the first thing I want to talk about today right now is, like I said, the holsters. Carry and conceal. I carry and conceal, and I don't really like to show, all the time. I got kids. They need to know, but they don't really have to see it all the time. This is just me. If you, however you go about it with your kids, that's cool. I'm not saying that I would never show my kids how to shoot, but at the same time, I'm also going to display to them how you can carry and conceal, and don't have to be out there unless that's what you choose to do. So the first holster that I bought, I was on Facebook, and I was pretty much going to ask this question in this group that I am with, a Canik group, but the question was already asked. So I ran through the comments, and I say this brand was probably within the top 3. So the brand that I'm talking about is called Close Quarter Carry. And I hit them guys up on Messenger. He responded back to me about half an hour, 45 minutes later. He was very polite. We got right to business. I was unaware of the difference in belt clips. I did know I didn't want, which is the double clips like the Caniks come with. I didn't really care for that. Just too much of this, that was too much for me. I did find out it was ways that you can modify it, which is you could just put it in some boiled water and mold it to your body. I have not done that yet, but by the time I've found that video came across that information, I've already ordered that guy. Now I paid $40 for that. This was free, so I'm not complaining about this. This was free. It came with it. This guy I paid $40 for, and I'm not mad about this. I'm going to tell you how I came across my second one, and the reasons why. And then what I found out later, what could probably be the issue, and how I'm going to try to solve it. So when I got it, it's like, all right, this is a nice holster. Put it on. At the time of the belt that I was actually wearing, it worked well with it. It fit right on. You have nice firm grip. I just want to make sure everything is clear. I wanted to also do that a couple times too, because this is another modification that I'm going to talk about today. But we're going to focus on a holster. So, like I said, as you can see, carbon fiber Kydex. Nice firm grip. You know, when I got it, it was a little loose. I just tightened it up. It was perfect for me. I said that's exactly what I'm looking for. It's not scratching up or scuffing anything at all. It's just a nice firm grip. So I was very satisfied with it until I started switching up my belts. And then I realized I'm not getting that when I will pull from my holster. And this is why. Now, I'm not knocking the brand. It could just be in the material or what they was able to get at the time. It didn't work for me, and I didn't feel safe with it at the time. And I forgot all about that they had sent another clip. Now, I'm going to explain to you what I've come to realize the difference might have been, and I didn't know until I'm going to change it. How I realized this difference is when I ordered this guy from FTA. I seen a video on YouTube, and they said this is a pretty decent company. For the money, it was worth it. He paid $40. I said, okay, well, I paid $40 for this holster. I'll pay $40. The most I would probably pay is about $50, $60 for a holster. $75 for a holster, I don't know. If I could get a discount with Canik, because they do have holsters in stock right now. They're original holsters. If I can get a discount on Canik, then I'll take that. And I might just still buckle down and just get it, because I like to have several, especially when you have, I wear different attires. One minute I'm in athletic wear, next minute I'm in regular casual wear. And sometimes I could go dress up. And I still like to carry with me. So I need something that's going to work with everything that I have. So I like to get a variety. I'm going to get probably like one or two more. And the Canik one might just be that. But we're going to talk about FTA. FTA was pretty, if you go through the website, so, you know, you're not dealing with anybody. You're just dealing with, you know, the site. And I just pretty much ordered what I figured it was supposed to be, especially when it came to the clip part. Because I know how I like for my gun to sit. And it was actually a good clip. Now, that's where it became number one. And if you notice, there's not much of a gap, you see, compared to this one. There you go. So I instantly just kept this one as my everyday for the most part, until I was going through my stuff and realized that I forgot that I had a second clip. And this clip pretty much matches that clip. So what I'm going to do later on is, I'm not going to probably do it today, I'm going to do it later on, is just change that clip out, and I'm going to see how it works from there. All right. Oh, let me talk about the stuff that I got from close quarter. You get some earplugs, decals, you know. All right, so the next thing we're here to talk about is the new mod, which is the ADE Spike tactical red dot. Now, before y'all start blasting me, I already know which is in the top 5 or top 3, should I say. And of course, I know somebody's going to also say, well, you could have just spent the extra $50 and just got the 6 hour. I'm going to talk about all of that. So let me start with the most important thing, which is how I feel about optics or red dots, period. Lasers, flashlights, all of that extra stuff that people will add to customize and Gucci out their guns. Particularly the optic, I'm not really a big fan of it because it's a battery operating device that, well, with this actual, because I know there's some out there you could cut them off or you cut them on, so, or they move by, they cut on by motion. But this one, it sits on all day. So I usually keeps it covered for the most part, but I want to talk about the installation and all of that other stuff. But back to how I feel. So to rely on something like that, I'm not going to really put my life on the line. So that is my range gun. This will be my everyday carry. As you can see, it's only thing I did with it was change the trigger. You know, so I don't have to have too much arguments if I don't kill somebody and they try to take me to court for shooting them. Here, they gonna say, oh, the more it's tricked out, the more he was eager to shoot, possibly. But we're not gonna go into that either. So that's why that's the range gun, and it's also something to help build your accuracy up. So that's why I got the modification. That's why I also said I'm gonna talk about the difference. $300, Hollison. $300 for a sight, something I don't care too much about. I'm not gonna spend. It's not the money. It's just that I don't feel the need to go that much or spend that much, period, on something that I'm not really going to rely on in a life and death situation. It's only for fun and recreational. So after doing my research out of all sites, 6 hours was definitely up there, especially in my price range. I was willing to pay $200. But you know me, I'm a bargain shopper, so I was on eBay. I was trying to see if I could catch it for shorter. And actually what I came to the conclusion is the price that I paid for this ADE, and I might eventually still get the 6 hour just to try it out, will all total up to the same price of the Hollison. Well, at least I get to try out 2 instead of just going straight to the 1. You know, which, like I said, I mean, it doesn't have any bad reviews, so I'm not saying that it's a bad product. It's just at the end of the day, I get the chance out 2 for the price of 1 than just trying out 1. And I might not even like it. Might not care the way it sit on it. Whatever. So that's my main reasons of even choosing the ADE Spike. And it didn't really have really bad reviews. Some people just didn't like them. They say they were crappy, or it's just like the fact that it was, you know, the adjusting and all that part. But that's to each his own. All right, so what we're going to talk about, though, is how, you know, that's one thing we're going to do is show you how to do it. Now, I'm going to explain this first because I want you to understand what I'm doing is. I didn't pay attention to all of the screws that came with the ADE Spike. And I'm assuming it's because they've been having screw issues that they figured out a way to say, well, let's just try to get out there as much as possible. The main reason why I'm about to take these screws off and replace them with these screws that I didn't realize I had is because they don't have the blue Loctite on them like these do. And the Loctite that I have is really not that good. You know, I've tried it for my sights on my Tauruses, and my sights end up eventually coming loose again anyways. So I didn't really care for that. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna change out these screws, which is also will be able to allow me to show you how to actually do this. So let me again show you. She's clear, ain't nothing in it. We're gonna go ahead and break her down. All right. So we got to take these screws off and replace the thing. Now, as I'm taking these screws off, I'm going to tell you what you're going to need. You're going to be doing the same thing when you take this off. But the difference is the screws that goes in here are not going to be the screws same size as these right here. So you're going to use a different key, X key, to remove this one. That should be this smaller guy right here. You remove that. Once you do that, you're going to probably need a punch. Some people was actually able to, you know, pry something up under there to get this plate off. The plate could be kind of tough to get off. What I learned is that up under the slide, you have two holes. As you can tell, the screws is there. You have these two holes right here that goes straight flush to that plate. And you just take the punch and pop it on out. Now, once you get that taken off, typically your Ready Optics comes with a set of screws that you can use to put the optic on, and it also comes with a plate that works great with the ADE. Fits right on in. As you can see, it's sitting there flush. Again, the only reason why I'm taking it off is because them have the blue Loctites, and I need the blue Loctite on there. And I didn't realize that I actually had the screw that fitted. Now I want to show you what screw that comes with the Canik that I use. So just in case if you already have blue Loctite and you don't get those screws, or you just might want to save them. It is going to be this screw, and I'm going to show you the difference between the one that you take out to the one that you're going to have to put in for the optic. And if I can grab it. There we go. When you take that plate off screw, that screw is really small compared to the one that you're going to have to use for the optic. Cool. All right, so once you get that plate out, you want to take some lube, gun lube, and you want to lube down here on the surface. Just lube it up, not too much, just a little bit. But I'm about to replace this, so we'll get it to show you. I can show you that. Let me go ahead and take this off, and actually let me turn this down here. sure you can see me. Yeah, be good. I'm trying to make sure you can see. Okay. My apologies for dropping the camera. All right. So we're just gonna go ahead and loosen these guys. Oh, yeah, I got it a little tight. Let me come the other way. There we go. I got that guy on there tight. All right, so like I said, you just want to put that plate on there, but you put some gun lube up before you apply the plate. You apply the plate, and the plate is gonna snap right in. As you can see, the two back holes right here is, of course, you just line those up, and everything is cool from there. Now, what we're doing is we're changing out these screws, because these screws does not have blue Loctite on them, which these guys do. Now I need to make sure I got the actual, I might be able to, let me see. Nope, that's too. Nope. Ah, perfect. Okay. So like I said, I'm just gonna put that on there, and as you see, it just sits right in there, in the grooves. Doesn't slide pretty much of anything. What I'm gonna do is before I actually go tight all the way in, I wanna make sure these guys can go down and grab. And there they are. So that's better, because those screws were sitting up a little higher. Okay, it's catching. That's perfect. Now you want to make sure you line it. It's lined up, which is actually should be lined up. But you just want to double check everything is lined up with each other. You know what I mean? Like lined up is you want to make sure these grooves flow right with each other, so you have a smooth, which is perfect. I'll let you guys see that from there, if you can. Now, I'm gonna lock these babies in there. And again, like I said, that's just a simple process when it comes to adding the sights to your Elite SC. And that's the ADE Spike. You might need a different plate when it comes to any other sight. Figure out your number plate. And hopefully and pray that Canik have it for you. All right, I got that down on tight as possible. I'm gonna try a little bit more. Yeah, that's good, good. That's good, good. All right, that's basically it. And there you have. You have your mounted sight for your ADE Spike. You have your choices of holsters, very cheap at $40. And that was pretty much the topic that I think was asked. Oh, the Freedom Smith triggers in the pounds. I did not measure the pounds. The one thing for certain is it does take up at least 75% of the travel. So the original stock to the Freedom Smith that traveled to the firewall decreases by almost about 75%. And the reset is still the same. Actually, maybe a little bit better to be honest with you. But what I can say for it is that it definitely helps my shot. Actually, all of these modifications that I'm doing right now is to improve my shot. From the grips, and I'll talk about those too, to the sight. Anything else that I may do, because this is my range gun, is probably put a compensator on it, or capacitor, however people pronounce it. But put a comp on it, and the reason why I'm really even throwing the mods mostly on this actual one is because this front sight, which I thought was a glow in the dark tactical sight, but it was actually just a green tactical. Now I wanted to change it red because I did get replacements for it. As you can see, they gave me red and like a lime green. But overall, I didn't want to go through all that for real. So I just figured, okay, I just throw the optic on it. That'll help with the sight because I didn't want to change that. Everything was lined up perfect. I didn't want to bother it because then I'm gonna have to take it to a gunsmith to have to actually sight everything in, or I'm gonna have to keep going to the range until I get it. You know, I don't have the luxury to be able to go in my backyard. Well, actually we can, but no, I don't do that. But that's it. Anything else I wouldn't probably do to it. Everything is just to make the shot better. So if I can reduce my recoil, I'm going to retry to whatever I can to reduce my recoil. And like I said, that's it. Oh, as far as the handle, the grips, this is the grips. I know somebody asked about that. Where'd you get your grips from? I bought this from Cabela's, and I think I paid about, I want to say anywhere between $15 and $20. It's supposed to fit all Glocks. It says fits Glocks, but it's more so universal. So basically, just pretty much go off the size of your handle, and you'll be able to determine which size to actually get. But this is the company and then the brand I went with. I actually seen some that was a little better, and I'll show you why I think it was a little better. It might have just been me. I just didn't pull it up further enough. But they had something that was able to come up this way, and it was cut like that. And I actually want to do that because sometimes when I'm shooting and it's sitting back here, after a while, it starts to, I get that pressure in there. You know, that can start to hurt. But that's also coming with positioning and stuff like that, making sure it's positioned well. And you know, I probably been down about 300-400 rounds, and I'm just throwing it at it, not really caring about my accuracy. But that was pretty much it, if I can remember. I think I touched all the subjects and all the questions. Other than that, like I said, thank you, my subscribers. I only got 43, 45 of y'all, but that's cool. You know, we gonna get some more. hopefully, eventually, we got to keep throwing them likes up. We're going to have to keep sharing, if that's possible, get the information out there, guys, because, you know, they be kind of trying to throw us in the non-talk about. If it ain't Glock, it ain't right, I guess. But whatever. Canik world, baby. All right, so that's it. I'm signing out. Buffalo Bill Meach. I appreciate everybody. Love y'all. Stay safe. Stay dangerous.